Lemons. I like my lemons. A sour and obnoxious little fruit, not occurring in nature. Fuck did I just kick? Regardless, a lot can be done with this little thing. And unlike previous Cooking by Approximation videos, we're going to be doing multiple different things you can do with this, because functionally at the end of the day, being a single person or being a college student or just being poor in general, you know, buying, you know, a bag of fruit, that's an investment. You know, normally, you know, it can be a little hard. Sometimes you want to go for the more shelf-stable options, you know, ingredient households, things of that nature. But I'm hoping to show you that there's enough quick and robust ways to use this fancy little lemon to have it incorporated in your pantry more frequently, justifying the cost for your household and also helping keep scurvy away. Trust me, from personal experience.
Pardon my sink, but the first thing that we have to do for any of these recipes is we've got to rinse the lemons. In the United States, to make it so, you know, rind, what's it called, fruits like lemons, oranges, and the like, stay, you know, more shelf stable, and i.e. not, you know, getting exposed to the air, is they have a waxy film that's put over them. So just, you want to scrub it with maybe like a sponge and some soap and water. I mean, not even really some soap, just like some water and a sponge. But I'm going to be doing that off camera because I don't have a cameraman and I can't scrub this with one hand.
I do want to have the addendum that if you're going to be using the rind itself, the skin on the outside, as part of the meal and something you'd be actually consuming, do this. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. But for my purposes, for at least the first one, we're going to need the whole thing. So the first thing we're going to make is something stupidly simple. So it's a quick, easy dessert, requires very little prep. You just got to watch something on the stove for a bit. Candied lemons. Now, you can do these with limes. I would argue they would be even better with limes, but so long as you get the cut right on the lemons and you wash off the waxy exterior, they can be quite lovely. Pardon me, I'm currently trying everything in my power not to piss tears, because in that last shot I hit my elbow and I want to die.
The thing that we're going to do is you're going to want to get a little saucepan here, right? And you're going to want to take about 2 cups of water, pour it into said pan, and turn it on to high heat. Yeah, high heat. Then you're going to want to basically do a 2-to-1 ratio with sugar. You're going to want to put about a cup of sugar in here. Yep, we got the 1 cup of sugar in here. And functionally, you're just going to want to stir this just continuously until all of the sugar is incorporated into the water. And then at that point, you just keep stirring and keep it going until all of it's incorporated. And then once it's all incorporated, you basically pull it down to medium heat, let it simmer until it's a golden brown, essentially. Yeah, it looks pretty good. There, you probably, once you have all the sugar incorporated, want to put that down onto low heat and just let that bubble, stirring occasionally just to make sure nothing's sticking or burning. At this point, you're going to want to start cutting your lemons. You're going to want to cut off the edge here, and you're going to want to cut off the edge here, and you can save those for, you know, shavings for drinks. I'm arguably going to save those ends for something a little later in the video, but you should want to cut off about this much from both ends total. So you have like more flesh than you do rind. Here's where a little bit of patience, practice, and you know, advancing your knife skills will help you. You want to get some super thin, super duper thin cuts of lemon like this, and you want to get as many as you can. from the single lemon. Now, at a certain point, you're not going to be able to physically cut these super thin unless you have specialized material, but we can. This is enough of a lemon for me to do something in a bit for the next thing. But this amount of lemon discs should be enough. So one of the things I want to note is with your sugar water solution, your simple syrup, which is kind of that. This is what it is right now. If you wanted to have simple syrup for like cocktails and things of that, this is basically the 2-to-1 is the golden ratio, and once you let it cook down a little bit, it should be ready to go. This is your pourable sugar. But for our purposes, this is going to need to go down a little bit more from what it currently is. Like I said, golden brown. I still stand by that. But primarily, the main thing you want to look for if you don't want like the golden brown flavor is you're going to want to see a viscosity. You know, you want to be able to take a spoon, place it on top, and then look underneath to see the method of like how it's dripping. If it's dripping like still in a water-like consistency, still not syrupy enough. We need it to have like a very viscous, almost slimy kind of consistency. That way, the sugar, like there's more sugar than there is water in a way, and it's able to encompass the lemons in their entirety. Okay, I'm happy with that viscosity. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to take our lemons. I want my lemons. And we're going to ring them around here. And here's the note. We start by getting the hot, and then from this we turn off the heat. We do this because we want to get the sugar is hot, and we're trying not to cook the lemons too much. We want to make sure that the flavor of the lemons is still kind of sticks in, and we're just going to let these sit for, I'd say about 10 minutes at most. And then we're going to take them out, and then get this going again. We're going to be double dipping these so they have a thick sugar coat over top of them. All right, time's up. We're going to take these and we're going to stick them on this plate temporarily. Now the key thing here is that this first is just sort of an ancillary coating. When we get this boiling going again, this has been on low heat since we incorporated the sugar. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting this on a higher heat, about medium. And the reason we're doing that is we need, when we put them back in and take it from medium to low heat, and then let them stay in the low heat for the time being, this ancillary coat will kind of protect the rind a little bit more than it would than if we just did it once. And more importantly, it'll also soften the rind, so you can literally just eat the rind yourself. So we're just gonna put this onto a medium-high flame, so you can see that right there. And we're just gonna let this get going again. And because it's getting going again, there's going to be even less water concentration, making it more syrupy, meaning that we're going to have a much thicker coat on the second go around, which will be lovely. Ah, my fucking tongue. Ow, 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 ow. And don't forget, you're going to want to stir it when it's on medium heat, just to prevent burning, because the burning taste will come through. You have to be very careful here. Don't put it on high heat. Unless you really know what you're doing and are watching it and keeping a good eye on it, keep it on medium heat at most. And if you do feel like you're good enough at keeping it on high heat to do it, you are probably a confectionery chef, and why the fuck are you watching my video? Now, as you can see, it's slowly starting to get the beginning hues of golden, which is great. I don't necessarily want that flavor personally for this, so I'm going to let this go for a little bit longer, get some more of the water concentration out, And while still on medium heat, we're going to put in our lemons, which are a little firmer now due to being, into the pot once. Here's the second, thy third, thy fourth, nice crocs, right? Fifth and sixth. And we're just gonna take our little handy dandy spoon thing, push these further down into the mixture, let those go, and now we're going to bring it down to low heat. Let me make sure I don't snuff the light out. Hold on. There we go. And now we watch. Keep stirring, keep it moving, and at this point we are just going to let these simmer in here for a couple minutes, and then hopefully after this is done, I'm going to show you something you can do with the leftover sugar that I think you guys are really going to like. Right, those are looking pretty good. I'm going to give them about 30 more seconds, I think. Couple minutes, I think, is more than they need. All right, about another 30 seconds to a minute have passed, and we're going to take it off low heat, and then we're just going to let these sit in the hot syrup, and just let that beautiful coat coalesce. Get as much into them as we can. Flip them maybe if you want to. Just try and get as much sugar into them as humanly possible. Now, ideally, if you look at here, you'll see how like the rind has kind of gone a little translucent. That's what you want. If you hate the taste of like lemon rind, that's what you want to go for. I personally don't really mind the taste of lemon rind. Also, to get these to the point where all of them don't have the rind, I won't be able to use this. Goodness. Ow, I just burned the fuck out of my finger. For what I'm planning on, and I'll show you shortly. After you remove your lemon wedges, circles from here, you want to throw them into the freezer so they get flash frozen. This is so the syrup is able to quickly set, and even though the fucking overlay during the recording, I'm not re-recording this, that's so they basically get solid and the sugar turns into a nice coating. Evan, you might be saying, yeah, we made candied lemons and sure they might taste good, and they do taste good. But all that waste, what do we do with this? Well, my friend, I know I said earlier in the video that, oh, you can use it for some spirits. No. For me, I am not a man who drinks. And for, while this is a show for poor people and college students, liquor's expensive and not everybody wants to drink. So I'm going to show you guys, at least for here, a virgin lemon cocktail. You can replace what you can honestly replace what like I'm about to share with you with vodka, and you probably have just as good of a time. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our syrup solution back on low heat, first and foremost. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get basically what is a cup of water, and we're going to add it back to this. Because remember how I said that the golden ratio for simple syrups is effectively 2 to 1? Well, we've burned off about a cup of water here, which is what we needed. We wanted to basically like cascade the caramel and all that, but now we've got a lemony, sugary goodness here, and we just need to make sure all this incorporates back into the pie. So we're gonna get this to a little bit of a bubbling, and just if we take a little bit of this. Just get our little tasting spoon. Wonderful. That just needs to incorporate and it should be good to go. Maybe a little dollop of sugar more and it should be good. Add a little bit more sugar to that. You can just eyeball it, but If you want a more exact measurement, I'd say tablespoon or two of sugar. That should be enough extra. Now, I'm sure you remember, ladies and gents, that I had these, you know, the scraps of the previous lemon that didn't really felt like they fit. Well, now they have a place. Because we're not going to be consuming these, we can just throw these in and squeeze in their juice and get their essence in. Now, if nothing happens as a result of this, you know, it is what it is, but you know, we can throw these out and not have to worry. So we're just going to leave those in and let those continue adding lemony flavor. In the meantime, we're going to take what's left of this lemon. We're going to use the entirety of this lemon, I'll be damned. And we're going to squeeze as much juice out of this as humanly possible. For those who are friends of the show, of Cooking by Approximation, and have watched previous episodes, you might have an idea of what I'm squeezing this for. Spoilers, you'll see it in a little bit. And then we're going to just take this rind in here and we're just going to put it in there. In fact, I just cut it in half to make it easier for the lemon to sort of incorporate. Cover the stuff with a lid, and you can basically leave it on low heat for, say, about 5-10 minutes, and we'll come back and check on it. So we're going to just use my spider to just get the lemon bits out. Get those into the garbage can real quickly. We're just going to dump what's here into this thingamadoohickey into a mason jar for storage. Mason jars, by the way, are wonderful. You can get a pack of like 16 ones of this size for like, I don't know, $40. And they're so much better than like Tupperware. Like anything you put in there, they just like if you've got an environment in it that is quite literally, oh, too sugary, too salty. It's also great for making jam. They're also just great for like storing things, broadly speaking. I love them. They're great. But yeah, this, as I try to move it over here from the heat, is our simple syrup, and it's lemon infused. But Evan, what would we do with a lemon infused? I'll show you. Like, you're gonna love this, I promise. You know how I said earlier that buying liquor can be expensive and making cocktails is almost prohibitive in certain ways? Well, or sometimes you just don't really want to fucking drink. God knows I don't like drinking, or I don't drink at all. But here's the fun thing. That syrup we just got, remember how I said the golden ratio here is 2-to-1? Counts with this too. So check it. So I'm going to grab, do I have any clear ones left that are clean? Whatever. I use this old Tostino's jar as an example, right? Little jar here. If you are either a recovering alcoholic or, frankly, someone that just doesn't enjoy drinking liquor, one of the things that you can do is you can get a wide-rimmed glass like this, throw yourself a fat ice cube in there. These silicone trays are great. They can be gotten for less than a $10 bill on Amazon. They're wonderful. And here's the great thing about this drink I'm about to make you. All you need is your simple syrup, which, by the way, the process of boiling fruit in simple syrup to make infused simple syrup can be repeated with any number of fruits. How to Drink, Greg from How to Drink, has a really great video on that. Go check it out on his channel. But it's one part syrup, which we have here already portioned in a jigger. You do not, and I think if this is called a jigger or a rigger, I forget what it's called. But basically, one part. And when I say a part, I mean in whatever vessel, so long as you use the same vessel to portion things out. So one thingamadoohickey. It's likely the same if you decided, hey, I want to make a big ass vat of this. You put a whole 2 full things of simple syrup into the thing, and then you put, that's what a whole part is. A whole part is the vessel that you use for measuring. Hence, we're doing a small amount here. We have our simple syrup, and you pair that with 2 parts, which is this side of soda water. Careful for the explosion. And you put 2 parts of soda water into it. Grab a little thingamadoohickey. Mixy. And you drink. Salud. If you want soda, but you don't want to spend money on it, this syrup has basically a shelf life of almost forever. If you technically can keep it outside, but I personally keep mine in the fridge just because it's simpler. I don't want to take risks. And it tastes well. I didn't get all the wax off the rind, so it does have that like little waxy taste. But frankly, you can just honestly, you can probably just, if you don't want to like conserve the whole lemon like I am doing for this episode, you can just like squeeze an entire lemon into here and it would have the same effect. As long as you do, 2 cups sugar, 1 cup sugar, 2 cups water. But yeah, this mason jar I have full of it, this will last forever, basically. Just throw a lid on it, throw it in the fridge, and you're good to go. But what do we do with the last bit of lemon? The lemon juice I have sitting in this cup holder. Well, could drink it, but I don't want to do that. So we're going to make a HIMediaTV staple of lemon posset. Now, lemon posset, for those who don't remember, is a exceedingly simple English dish that, personally, I'm going to take a shortcut in here today, because normally when you have your lemon posset, you will zest a lemon, but we've already used the other parts of the lemon rind for it. Therefore, this is going to be half an experiment, half of just we'll see what happens. Let's get started, shall we? We're going to start by first putting some heavy cream in the bottom of our pot, putting that onto a low heat, and basically dumping, however much is in here. Half of that needs to be sugar. Looks to be about right. And then we start the process of stirring it all in. Let this and now we just sit. We wait until the cream starts bubbling. At this point, we probably want to boost up the heat just a tiny bit. We don't want it to burn, but we just need to wait for this to start lightly bubbling, and then we'll move on to the next part. This is a little more boiling than you want it to be, but that's okay. We take it immediately off the heat for good reason, and then what we do is we immediately drop the lemon juice in and start stirring. Now what you'll notice is the combination of the activated fat in the cream combined with the acidity for some reason curdles it, and it makes it much thicker. It's actually kind of nutty the way that works. We're just gonna mix this and then pause it, damn you, I'm using my nose. There we go. We'll just keep stir. Then we will take this, and dump it into a clear glass. We're using a clear glass for this, simply for the fact that I want to be able to show you guys the cross shot when this is over. Cinematography! We can't indulge yet. We will take this, and we will throw this into the refrigerator for at most, or at least, 2 to 3 hours. What did we learn? Well, lemons, while sour, can be sweet, especially when you add a fuck ton of sugar. But it's not just something you throw on a roast chicken or throw into a water glass. Lemon can also be something you use. God, that's fucking good. In your day-to-day life. In the words of Alton Brown, they're good eats. But since this isn't that show, thank you for watching Cooking by Approximation. This is the first of what I hope to be more specials when it comes to just taking one ingredient and making a bunch of fun stuff with it. I implore you, get some lemons for your house. It's also good to just throw it into some water and have a little flavoring that way. Saves you a little bit from the mundanity of water. But please feel free to, if you aren't already subscribed, please consider subscribing, of course. And if you aren't in our Discord channel, I'd love to have you. Thank you so very much. I know everything on my phone's beeping while we're doing this outro. It was dead for a bit while I was handling some other stuff while we were waiting on this. This is what it is. I love your faces. Thank you for watching this extra long episode of Cooking by Approximation. And I will see you guys in the next one. Toodles.